Hi friends! So in our last art lesson together, we talked about the color wheel and we created a color wheel with objects around our house. Today I'd like to talk a little bit more about color and give you the opportunity to actually create your own color wheel using conventional artist tools. So for today, you are going to need a piece of paper, a marker, a pencil, and some crayons. Okay, a simple kit today, but we like to keep things simple, and we're going to do some big things with just these tools. So let's get started. Now, you are going to be making your lines with a pencil because it has an eraser that you can erase with, but pencils really don't show up on my paper when I'm videoing, so I need to use a marker right off the bat. You'll be drawing with a pencil, and then if you want big, bold lines like mine, you will cover it up with your marker. Does that make sense? Good. Let's get started. So I'm starting by turning my paper like a portrait, and we are going to create a lion, and his mane is going to be our color wheel. And we're also going to incorporate some other elements of art such as shape and form and line. Okay, let's get going. Now the first thing I want to do is draw a really big circle for his mane because that's going to be the color wheel. So let's practice with my finger. I don't want it to be so big I can't draw anything else. So I'm just going to start here like that and practice. Practice a good size with my finger. And I'm ready. We're going to draw a big and brave and bold line. Here we go. There he is. I actually really like the way that looks. That's a really nice circle. Now I'm going to find the center of my circle, and I'm going to draw his head now by drawing a smaller circle inside, like that. Now let's add some ears. They're going to be like pieces of macaroni, with smaller pieces of macaroni on the inside for detail. And for his nose, I'm going to draw like a curvy triangle, like that. And that's going to be his muzzle. And for his nose itself, I'm just going to draw another kind of triangle, like that. Then I am going to draw some sleepy eyes, I like to think that my lion had a really great day on the savannah and now it's time for a nap. And then I'm going to add some whiskers. All cats, big and small, have whiskers. Bet you didn't know that, but now you do. Now it's time to draw the body of our lion. We're going to take this in several small steps together. At any point I'm going too fast, you can pause the video until you catch up, and I'll be here waiting for you. That's the beauty of a pre-recorded lesson. Now, I'm going to draw two curvy lines of the same length, like that, for his body. And for his back leg, if you've ever seen a cat walking around, their back leg is kind of curvy. So I'm going to draw that curvy line like this, because he's going to be sitting down, basking in all of his lion glory. And I am going to make these his front paws. Here's one paw. And another paw. I'm going to connect them with another kind of ovally line like that. Then I'm going to draw another ovally line like so, and draw his other leg behind. Just like that. It's kind of a cool looking lion. Now, lions have a very long tail. So I'm going to draw that. But it doesn't end there. Lions have a tuft at the end of their tail like that. I'm going to draw some more lines for detail. There we go. There is the body of our lion. Now, we are going to divide our circle up so that we can use our color wheel. And we are going beyond the primary colors and the secondary colors. We're also going to do our best to include some intermediary colors as well, which we kind of talked about in our last lesson, but we're going to talk more about today. So, go slow. It may help if you start with a pencil and then cover up with marker, because if you make a mistake and you want to make your shapes even, that's okay too. But no matter what you create, it's going to be beautiful. Now, I'm going to divide up this big circle into 12 as equal as I can shapes. So I'm going to do a line like this and match it over here. Same thing, a line like this and match it over here. Okay, kind of like an X. And then I am going to do a line up here and divide it down here. Okay, and then a line like this. And on the other side here. Now so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal shapes. We need to go up to 12. This is where our shapes may become a little uneven, and that's okay, because it's going to be beautiful no matter what, you know? Okay, so I'm going to take my marker, draw one line like this, another like that, last line like that. And while we don't have perfectly even shapes, I know that our lion is going to be gorgeous. Now it's time to color. So I am going to get out and start with my primary colors. And I know you know our primary colors by now. They are yellow, red, and blue. Let me get out a nice blue like that. Oh yes, I like that a lot. And I am going to color this one red. Now remember, when we are coloring with crayons or oil pastels or any tool that's similar, we want to use a soft hand to start, kind of like Goldilocks. We don't want to color too hard, we don't want to color too soft, we want to color just right, with the same amount of pressure from the beginning to the end. Otherwise, we will find that it will get like streaky or clumpy, or it just will look uneven. And we want our coloring to look nice and even because we are practicing those skills as artists. Okay, and I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and color this one yellow. Again, even, smooth coloring with everything going the same direction. Now for my last primary, going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 will be blue. Just like that. Okay. Trying to use even, long strokes just to make sure it all gets colored in the same way. Just like that. So it kind of makes a triangle. If you were to take your pencil and draw a triangle, this would be the base of your triangle, the side, the apex, and the other side, like that. Now let's use some secondary colors. Put our primaries over here. Can you tell me what are the primary or the secondary colors? Orange is one, green is another, and the last one is violet. Okay, so to color in our secondary colors, we know that red and yellow mix to make orange. So I am going to leave one space white on either side and color in orange. Nice even colors. These are the secondary colors. Okay, orange is done. I'm going to put him on this side. Green is next. Same thing. We know that blue and yellow, when mixed together, make green. So in the very center, I'm going to color green. Nice even colors. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of white space. That's okay. I'm going to come back around and color that in. We want to make sure we fill the space entirely with color. And last but not least is violet. I'm going to come here because we know that red and blue make violet. And with one space on either side, we have finished our secondary colors. Again, coming back around to fill in those white spots. We want to have a nice even inside the lines coloring. Okay, so we have done our primary colors. We have done our secondary colors. Now is time for our intermediary colors. Those are the colors that are kind of in between each one. So when you're mixing color, whether we use paint like tempera or watercolor or even marker, when you're mixing colors like that, if you were to mix yellow and green together, you would get something called yellow-green. Now, we kind of have to be creative with our crayons, so I'm going to go ahead and dump out the rest and look for the one that I can clearly call yellow-green. Well, here's the decision I need to make. I have one that is called yellow-green, and I have another one that is called green-yellow. So I'm going to take a small scrap piece of paper and do a little coloring on each one to see which I like better. That's very green. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with this one. I just think that I like that. It's just nicer. So I'm going to color it in nice and even on my yellow-green square. Okay. And now I need to find kind of a blue-green color. Here's where I may have to get creative. I may need to blend my crayons just a smidge. So I'm going to try layering some color. I'm going to color in with my green. Kind of light, like this. Then I'm going to get a lighter blue and color in on top of that. Just kind of layering my colors to give it more of a blue-green. More blue than yellow if we were mixing colors with paint. Just kind of layering that on top when you do that. There we go. I think that's a nice blue-green color. And we may have to do that in other places. Let's find out. So now we have violet and blue. If we were to mix these colors together, we would get a blue-violet. So I think I'm going to take my violet crayon, color it in. Oh look, I'm coloring with a blue-violet. There we go. That is a nice, deep, dark purple. And you can tell just by looking at it that this violet has more blue than red. Man, I think that looks nice. I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back over with my blue. Just kind of layer some colors there. There we go. Then we have our violet. Now we have red violet. And I do have a crayon that is called red violet. But again, if we don't like the way it looks, we can always layer with more color. There, I think that looks really, really nice. But I think I am going to layer in some violet, just to make it a little more clear what color we're looking at. Okay. Then we have our red. Now we need red-orange. I do have a crayon called red-orange. Let's see what this looks like. Looks really nice. It's very clearly red-orange. I really like this color. Okay. And last but not least, we have yellow-orange. Because if we were to mix orange and yellow together, we would get yellow-orange. So I'm going to take my orange crayon and my yellow crayon, and I'm going to layer. Now, orange is a very strong color. Yellow is not that strong. So I'm going to be very careful when I'm layering my color. Do a very light layer of orange. And then I'm going to very strongly come over with my yellow, just to make it clear that these are different colors. Do another layer of orange, another layer of yellow, and there we go. Here is our completed color wheel, right? And it shows our primary colors, our secondary colors, and our intermediary colors, right? Who knew there were so many colors? And there's even more in between here, but we're just focusing on these 12 colors to start. I made a mess of my crayons. There we go. Now, as artists, it is our job to add more elements of art when we can to make our piece more visually pleasing. And I want to do that today by adding more lines to the body of my lion. So I'm just going to take a minute and get creative. I'll get started to show you what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to pause the video. You're going to pause the video, finish drawing whatever lines you'd like, and then we'll come back together. So for now, I think I'm going to create like an echo of these lines. You know, just adding detail. Like that. Maybe add some polka dots. It's whatever you want to do. I'm just adding some more detail. So I'm going to pause my video, finish filling in my line with some designs, some lines, some shapes, whatever I feel like, and we'll come back together in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and I just added a whole bunch of different lines and shapes to my lion to make his body just a little bit more interesting. Now, I haven't decided yet, but I think I want to add some color. So I'm just going to start choosing different parts and adding different colors. And here's where our color wheel can come into play. We can talk about complementary colors, which we know are colors that are opposite one another on the color wheel. So my favorite color combination is violet and yellow. I just think that those colors look so good together. So I think I'm going to come over here and just start coloring in with some complementary colors. I also can use analogous colors, which we talked about last week. Remember, analogous colors are 3 colors next to each other on the color wheel. So maybe you want to think about adding some analogous colors. That's totally fine too. It's all up to you. This is your color wheel lion. But I want you to think about what colors you're using and why. Why do you think the colors look good together? Is there something specific that you see? So I'm going to finish coloring my lion. You do the same, and when you're done, press play. Okay, and here is my mostly finished lion. I decided to do more analogous colors on his front legs and more complementary colors on his back legs. So I used red orange, orange, and yellow orange in a pattern over here, and red violet, violet, and blue violet over here, with some yellow orange, yellow, and yellow green here. Those are my analogous color choices. Then on his back legs, I did complementary. Blue and orange are complementary, and yellow and violet are complementary. And then I did some red orange with some blue green in his tail that are also complementary. You can go on and continue to add designs and colors to the background, but I'm pretty pleased with the negative space in this drawing. So I think that wraps it up. The last thing we need to do is sign it. All artists sign their work in the lower left-hand corner. They usually spell just their initials, so I'll do L-T and do the year, 2020, with a little heart. Thanks for drawing with me today, guys. I had so much fun with you. Bye!